Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Jordan, thanks for being here. And today we're going to get into what if the love you needed was never given. We're going to talk about healing the mother wound. Some wounds don't bleed, they echo. And one of the deepest wounds we carry is the one left by the mother who couldn't show up in the way you may have needed her to. It's not always neglect in the obvious sense. Sometimes it's emotional absence wrapped in physical presence. A mother who clothed and fed you but couldn't nurture your inner world. Who told you to be strong before you ever learned how to feel safe. And so you learned early how to protect yourself, how to shrink your needs, how to read the room instead of being allowed to just be a child in it. That's the mother wound. It's not always about blame. It's about what wasn't there, and the parts of us that had to harden too soon to survive it. But not all mother wounds are formed in silence. Some are born in the chaos. In homes where the mother felt everything loudly, constantly, but wasn't self-aware enough to think about how her actions might have made you feel. Where every emotional moment, even the ones that were yours, somehow became about her. Your pain made her cry, your needs made her overwhelmed, your boundaries were seen as rejection, and slowly you learned it was safer to just disappear. To comfort her instead of being comforted. To become the emotional adult before you were even fully grown. Because when the parent is always falling apart, the child has to hold the weight, and that weight leaves an invisible mark. Then you grow up and you tell yourself, I won't be like her. But the wound doesn't care what you promise with your mouth. It listens to what you still carry in your nervous system, what you do when you're triggered, who you choose when you're lonely, how you cope when you're hurting. Because the mother wound doesn't just live in your memories, it lives in your patterns. Maybe you over-explain everything or feel guilty just for having needs. Maybe you shrink yourself when people get upset, not because you're weak, but because you were trained to make space for someone else's storm. And when love enters your life, you might not even know how to receive it. Because deep down, you're still wired to believe that closeness comes with chaos, or that your peace is too much to ask for. But awareness changes everything. And once you see the pattern, you're not just surviving, you're preparing for the rewrite. Then one day, you become the mother. And suddenly, you're face to face with the parts of you that never got what you're now trying to give. Patience. Safety, gentle correction, space to feel without fear. Of course, you love your children fiercely, but some days you feel like you're failing. Not because you don't care, but because you're trying to pour from a well you were never shown how to fill. Maybe you overcompensate. Maybe you don't know how to regulate your own emotions. Maybe you freeze in moments that call for clarity. Maybe you carry guilt just for needing a moment to breathe. Or maybe you swing between wanting to be everything for them and fearing you're already too much or not enough. It's not about blame. What it's about is awareness. Because the most powerful thing you can do for your child is not to be perfect, but to be present. To notice when your old wounds start speaking for you. And choose to respond from your healing, not your hurt. That's the legacy shift. That's how the cycle breaks. Not all at once, but moment by conscious moment. So if you ever felt ashamed for not having it all figured out, just take a breath. You are not behind, you are becoming. Becoming the mother, the father, the nurturer that you once needed. Becoming the safe place your child will remember when the world feels too loud. And on the days it feels like too much, when you're tired, triggered, or questioning your worth, remind yourself, This is what breaking the cycle looks like. It is messy. It's emotional. It stretches every part of you. But you're doing it. You're not failing. You're healing in real time, with little eyes watching you. And one day, they won't remember every mistake you made. They'll remember that you showed up, that you loved them enough to try and try again. And that unconditional love is more than enough. And on that note, beautiful people, keep healing. Keep breaking those patterns. And my emotional wellness poetry book link is in the description box below. And until next time, guys, peace and love.